Another year, another prediction for first place. Doesn't ever get old, does it?
No, I mean, I think we're proud of it. It means that we've had some consistency in the program. And especially when you look at the conference this year from top to bottom and how tough it is, it's an honor to be picked there. But again, they don't give you a trophy or a plaque for this, and you don't get to the NCAA tournament. So although it's nice, our goals are a lot loftier and they're in March.
How different will your team be this year than a year ago?
It's hard to say. Obviously Rachel brought, 16 points, 10 rebounds a game, and now we need to get that from a bunch of people. But I think that's what I really like about it is in high school I had a kid who ended up being Georgia Tech's all-time leading scorer, and people didn't think we could get back to the States, and we had a bunch of no-name people that just played well together and got back there. So I think this group could be that. I think we go 12 deep. And, we've got great leadership with Erica and the seniors. Some people come back a lot better. So, if we play the way we're capable, I like our chances.
And lastly, you've talked about your depth. You've got a lot of depth. You've got some terrific perimeter players. How important is it to have 8, 10, 12 girls that you can rely on?
Well, I think one, from the fatigue factor, it's important. But two, that, if somebody doesn't have a good day, you could always put somebody else in. And I think the most important statistic that we've had over the last 3 years is that when Rachel Fitz sat out more than 5 minutes in any one game, we either kept the lead or increased it in over 90% of the games. So, we're kind of banking on that statistic and hoping that can hold true for 40 minutes rather than, a few. So, we'll see, Steve.
Congratulations on being preseason player of the year.
Thank you.
What does that mean to you?
It's a great accomplishment just because of what I worked on in the past and how much better I've gotten each year, which is a tribute to the coaches. They've really worked with me, but it's just a preseason award, so it doesn't mean much yet. I have to continue to get better because everything in the preseason doesn't matter, so it's just what happens in the postseason.
You're pretty good already. What have you worked on to get better for this season?
Just shooting, dribbling, everything. I've worked on really getting a jump shot. I haven't really had one. I've been in between a floater or a three-pointer. So I needed a jump shot. I really worked on that this summer, and definitely conditioning. I'm in better conditioning this year.
All right, good. How different will your team be this year?
Obviously we don't have Rachel, Miss Automatic and stuff like that, but we're definitely going to be struggling with rebounding just because she's gone, but we're still going to be good. We lost, Britt, Linz, and Rach, 3 great players, but we added some really good freshmen, and you're going to see at least 2 of them come out right away, and they're going to be great.
How much you played with a target on your back for as long as you've been here, and the program's been terrific for even before you got here. How much pride is there in the players that you have now to continue that?
It's definitely, everyone wants to know what are we going to do without Rachel, and the one thing we don't want to do is, lose the conference, because we feel like people think, this is their year to jump on us and really go after us, but I feel like we have enough talent. We're playing really well, and we're getting better every day, so I feel like we still have the chance to win the conference.
You guys have the target on your back, so to speak, this year. How do you feel about being picked to finish first?
Well, I think it's somebody had to be picked first, and we have a couple of pieces back from last year where we, got beat by a very, very talented team. We just hope that at the end of the year, all the coaches were right. But I like my team. We're excited about what we got going, and hopefully we could win a championship in our own building.
You've got one of the better players in the league, obviously, and I know how much you like Derek Needham.
Right.
Just talk about him a little bit and what he means to you guys.
Oh, Derek is you're really the face of our program, a character individual, lovable young man, does things the right way all the time. And when you were talking about Fairfield, you got to prepare for Derek in so many different ways. He's just a pleasure to have, and I hope I can coach him for years to come.
And he's not your only standout, obviously. You've got some pretty good talent there, provided you guys can stay healthy.
We got to stay healthy, and that's been our biggest Achilles heel. Been very fortunate that our guys who weren't playing as much are prepared to play, but that's also helped us build a program, and if we can get everybody on the same page, we feel we can be competitive.
And And one last thing, you have the tournament at Bridgeport this year. How nice is that for your program to have it in your backyard?
Well, I think it's really important for our city, for Bridgeport. It's also good for the the local fans who aren't accustomed to seeing MAAC basketball. We feel we're one of the best conferences in the country, and we want more people to come out and see exactly what our brand is.
Very good. You guys aren't pick number one. You don't have that target on your back, but pick number two, you still have high aspirations. Can you talk about what you hope for this year?
Well, every year at Siena, Steve, I mean, we're trying to, win the MAAC championship. That's what our expectation is, the fans, the schools. So we embrace the high expectations, and I think this team has deserved to be ranked that high. We have Ryan Rossiter back and Clarence and a host of players that have played on some really good teams.
You referenced that you lost Ronald Moore and you lost the other two real standouts, Alex Frankel and Edwin Ublis. How different will your team be this year?
Well, it's going to be different. I think we're going to be a little more inside oriented. We're probably not going to shoot as many perimeter shots. But our strength really is our big guys, Steve. We've got 5 pretty good big guys. And, we're going to play more of a, not that we're not going to run, but we're going to go inside a little bit more and try and out-rebound teams.
Talent wins games. How important is it to have a player as good as Ryan and then also Clarence Jackson, who was picked to be a first-team performer?
I think, Steve, when you have 2 players of that caliber, you should be pretty competitive. If the other guys can step up, I certainly think we're a team that can compete for the title.
Very good. Preseason Player of the Year, what does that mean to you?
I think it's more of a credit of what I've done in the past as opposed to what I'm going to do in my senior year. I think it's just it's a recognition of accomplishments from junior year. So I don't put too much onus on preseason awards. Today will probably be the last day I think about it, and I'll start worrying about this season.
Your team's going to be different this year. How much different? What do you guys have to do differently?
Obviously, we lost 3 great players, but I think more people are focused on that as opposed to what we have coming in or what we have on the bench. So we're going to play a very similar style of what we've always done. It's going to be exciting. I think a lot of guys are going to get their chance to step up, and they will.
Like you say, some people don't know what you have coming back, but you know better than anybody, the guys within the program. How strong will you guys be this year if all goes well?
I think we're going to be very deep. In the past we've always had our starting 5 is our strongest asset, but I think this year it's going to be our bench that's our strongest asset. If we go to the bench, we're not going to lose anything. We could go 9, 10, 11 deep and still be very competitive and be a good team on the court.
I thought that was a nice question that Doug Sherman asked of you. Did you ever expect this, considering where you came from at high school? What did you weigh coming out of high school?
I probably got to Siena around 195.
And how much do you weigh now about?
255.
And how much has that helped you?
It's been great. Just my post position, being able to box out, rebound, try to knocked off balance as much. It's definitely very beneficial to my game.
All right, good. Thank you.